Welcome in YouTube and all our new Ragnarok Origins Online community members. I am going to be going over the do's and don'ts of the Drake Ghost Ship, which is right now one of the hardest Sage books to go in. Now, a lot of this is determined on your gear, because what a lot of people are doing is they're going into this fight and they're going in with like level 20 gear, level 30 gear, and you really need like level 40 plus gear for it. So that's like the biggest thing that you really do need to concentrate on is your gear level, because your gear level does matter with this. Not just your weapon, but your armor too.
Especially your armor.
Yep.
And not just for the tanks, but the DPSs as well.
Yes. Now, DPS, healer, everything. Because the last fight has a couple of really AoE mechanics to it that you really have to concentrate on. If you are a Sin, do keep in mind that Undead is resistant to poison. And I am a poison-based Sin. So my damage is kind of cut a little bit. But that's okay. I still do enough. Alright, in this room here, you're going to have 3 or 4 enemies that are hidden. So if you are a wizard or a priest, you can actually go in and reveal them with your sight ability. But they are on the weaker side, but they do catch the party unaware if they don't know about them. This run should take roughly about 5 minutes from start to finish. Now, these little bags that our tank just picked up, those are citrus fruit. Their main purpose is to get rid of scurvy. Now, what scurvy does is it makes the amount of damage you take multiplied by, I believe it's 2.
More like 50%.
50%? Okay, it increases the damage you take by 50%. For the for the dead wizard here, you always want to take those ads out first. If you get a red ring on you from this guy or in this map, you want to make sure to, if it's on your tank as a DPS, walk away, because it does a lot of damage. And if you are in a non-tank role, walk away from your party, because it will probably kill them. Alright, the skeletons in this room will target only one person, and they focus fire on that one person. So all that person has to do is just walk away from them, and they will walk directly towards those while everyone else DPSs them down. So it is still best that the tank goes into this room first.
Assuming the tank has a mount. Otherwise, whoever your fastest is your team.
Yeah.
These guys auto attack for about 5,000, so it is possible to tank them, but you need to be a ridiculous tank to be able to do so.
Yeah, so even the tanks, even as a tank, you don't want to get hit by these guys. Because they do a lot of damage.
Going back to the wizard, that AoE that goes on you does an explosion for about 5,000-6,000 damage if you already have scurvy on you. So if you have scurvy and you notice that an AoE is pouring around you, you need to get rid of that scurvy ASAP or you're pretty much dead, even as a tank. I happen to survive it because I'm a ridiculous tank, but most people would not survive it.
Yes. Alright, so now we're going into the boss fight. Now, there's a couple of things to keep in mind with this boss. He does 3 major moves. One of them being an AoE sword slash, which as a DPS, you do have to kind of stay back from him for just a little bit. And it is a 360 sword swing that he winds up for. And that's him doing it right there. And it's more like an egg shape. So it does hit behind him, but it hits in front of him across almost the entire room.
More than anything, that AoE slash is the armor check. If you don't have enough
Yeah.
armor, you're dead. As you saw, Clarky Boy just barely managed to survive it. He has just barely enough defenses to survive it.
Yeah, like, I'm really good when it comes to DPS. My armor is where it needs to be, and that chunked away half my health. With this boss, unlike the Dead Wizard when he does the AoE Red Floor spell on a single person, which halfway through he will put that on 3 people, it will automatically give you scurvy. So you do not
also gives you scurvy.
Oh, okay. So that move on both the Dead Wizard and Drake will give you scurvy. Then, upon getting him to about 50%, he will start summoning a group of ads. I think it's about 4 or 5 of them. It will be like 2 skeleton soldiers, a skeleton archer, and like 2 of those guys that follow you around. And it's pretty much just knock those guys out, and then he'll start on phase 2 of himself. So it'd be phase 3 of the fight, which he will then start summoning tidal waves that go across the entirety of the room. Alright. There we go. But yeah, he'll one will come from the left, one will come from the right. And you just have to dodge and get them and just not get hit on them. They're very easy to see. We'll see them in just a couple of seconds. Yep. DPS is down. Or not DPS being down, but yeah. Phase 3.
When he feels like it. We'll just have a nap.
Yep. He gives you time to set up. He gives you time to get stuff situated. And then go right back onto him. And in 3, 2, 1. There he goes. He puts his sword up into the air, and then he just starts summoning those. They do move across the room really fast. So just get between the 2 of them, and you're perfectly fine. And that's basically the Drake fight.
Yoon mentions as well, the water waves don't do that much damage, so you can tank it. See, I just tanked it.
Yeah.
Not recommended for DPSs, who should of course move from the AoE. But if you have your assortment and you have the endure skill, you can actually be prevented from moving. That's another thing that those waves do, is that they move you across the room, which can be quite annoying, but the endure skill will cancel that.
Yeah, I think I've gotten hit with them as a DPS before, and they did move me across the room. Oh, I don't have scurvy. I'm not going to pick that up.
If you're a DPS, remember the tank needs scurvy before you do. So if the tank's heading to the same one, sorry, the tank needs to remove scurvy before you do. So if the tank's heading to the same orange as you, give it to the tank, not you.
Go.
The annoying thing is, he can actually interrupt you from eating if he hits you. So as a tank, it can take several attempts to successfully eat some oranges. Easy.
And victory. Alright. And that's it for this quick tutorial on Book 3 Drake. Check us out on altogethergames_LLC and Omnilaser as well. Thank you so much for helping. I will put descriptions down below for both of our channels. So go ahead and give both of us a follow over on twitch.tv. We both stream. I try to stream regularly, and Omni I see on the time all the time as well. And until the next video, you guys keep it easy, you guys keep it real, and most of all, you guys keep it all together.